What's up, race fans? Welcome back to Birmingham, Alabama. Welcome back to Barber Motorsports Park. Welcome back to Road to Indy TV. My name is Matt Maupin. I'm your host. We're going to catch up with a few of the drivers that just missed out on the podium here at Barber, as well as some other drivers that maybe had some unexpected excitement during their race. Stay tuned. It's going to be a great episode.
From the start of the race, we had definitely an interesting start. We started in the second row on the outside. RC pushed me off the track, which I would have done the exact same to him if I was in his position. So then everything sorted itself out, and then found myself in fourth behind Zach Beach. Did a really good race. Put as much pressure I possibly could on him and tried to work him over, but it's a difficult place to pass, and he drove his little butt off.
Well, it's always fun to start up front. You know, you can be a part of racing up front from the start. Fortunately, we didn't make it to the podium, but going into Indy Grand Prix, we know we can be up there and keep fighting for it.
Had a really good start. I got up to third place with an outside move in turn 2, where I was quite close to Santiago at that point. And then 2 laps later, he had a good exit from the last corner, leading out to the main straight. And he showed his car a bit in my mirror, but he wasn't really up on me. And then I made sure to brake really late for him to not dive, so I just took my normal line, and then I think he sort of misjudged how quick you could enter the corner, and he just hit me in the back. I think he knew that he did a mistake, so I mean, fair enough. It was just a big shame after having quite a tough qualifying with that penalty. Then got back up to third, and then it all got thrown away quite quickly.
We were coming out of turn 2, and on the exit of it, I could feel he was on the outside rubbing against my rear wheel, and we came up the hill then, and as we came over the hill onto the straight heading to turn 5, his tyre then pushed against it, sending him over me into a roll. So a bit unfortunate, nothing much I could have done about it. It's been a tough weekend for us the past 2 races, but I'm sure we'll bring it back into the next one in Indy GP and keep pushing.
I was going alongside Jake on the straight going into turn 5. I was already right at the edge of the track going onto the grass, and he still kept turning on me. We knew how that was going to end, and obviously it did, so, completely his fault. I think, he should learn from that, and, really sorry for the team. They've got to rebuild the car now, getting ready for Indy, and that's what I'm going to do now, just looking forward to the next race, but, really disappointing.
This episode's Did You Know comes from JJ, a spotter and driver coach at Schmidt-Peterson Motorsports. JJ, what's something we didn't know?
Well, spotters are kind of like the people that you never really get to see much of, but you get to hear a lot if you're listening to the radio. Basically what we do is we are the eyes that the driver and the engineers can't really see, as far as giving information to the driver that they don't have while they're driving. For example, when it comes to a road course like here at Barber, we can see other drivers doing things, and we can suggest that our driver try it based on just taking a split time or looking at a sector time. You need to be really aware of where to place your car and how much room you need to be giving to the drivers around you. We work with a lot of outside video, so we record our cars, we record the other team's cars, the guys that are going quicker, and then we can go to the engineers and show them, maybe we can find a little bit of time here based on the car reaction. So we do get to help out a lot, but it's more having the eyes outside of what the driver can see driving his own car, and the engineers from being in the pits looking at our own data. It gives you a different perspective of what else is out there and what else is achievable for us to go quicker at the end.
We're here at the Southern Skeet and Trap Club just outside of Birmingham, Alabama. We got a very special guest we're going to get to talk to in a minute. Let's go back and see who it is. Hey, Dakota. How's it going?
Hey, how's it going?
You got a few minutes to chat?
Yeah, absolutely. You think you can beat me in this game?
Willing to give it a shot?
I think I'm gonna win.
No, that was high.
What'd you think?
Oh, you crushed me, but it was fun.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun.
Enjoyed it. So, Dakota, you won our little shootout out there handily, I might add. Another shootout you recently won was the Skip Barber Shootout, and you got a scholarship to compete in the USF 2000 Championship. Tell us just a little bit about what that scholarship meant to you and to your career.
The scholarship from Mazda that came from the scholarship shootout at the end of the year through Skip Barber was just absolutely career-changing for me. I knew that what it took to win the scholarship and what it does for people looking back the past few years at some of the drivers that come up, because I know without that scholarship from Mazda, I wouldn't be racing in this series here today.
On a non-race weekend, where are you going to find Dakota Dickerson?
You would find me most likely at the beach. I live in San Diego. I'm probably 15 minutes away from the beach, so whenever I have time off, you'll oftentimes see me at the beach just kind of playing spike ball, cruising around, going out in the water, doing whatever I can to get a tan maybe. But yeah, definitely going to the beach whenever I can.
So a lot of people may not know this, but a lot of the drivers in the USF 2000, and yourself included, are drivers in a national race series, and they're also students back home. So how do you manage that workload between a very fast-paced sort of work environment at the track and then student life at home?
Yeah, balancing school is definitely not something that's easy when you're traveling to the track every month, but it's definitely doable. It's just you kind of have to be on top of your game, getting everything done as fast as possible, whether it be in the hotel or on the plane. So balancing school is not something that's easy, but it's definitely doable as a race car driver, and I think it definitely helps you further your career that much further if you're taking things that can be applied to racing.
So how'd you get started? What was kind of your first foray into the racing world?
So my parents and grandparents actually were kind of my first introduction into racing. My grandma being a racer herself, racing go-karts when she was younger, and then that led on to my dad racing go-karts, and then when I was younger I got into go-karting as well, thanks to them and growing up in a racing family, but definitely they were my first introduction into racing.
Dakota, it's been great fun talking with you, and I'll have to have a rematch sometime on that skeet shooting.
Great, thanks for taking it easy.
Yep, that's what I did.
Yeah, exactly.
We're here at the Juncos Pro Mazda trailer. Let's find the team manager, Ricardo, and see what he's up to. Ricardo, thanks for talking with us today. You started the team in Argentina. You've moved up to the United States, enjoyed tremendous success in the Pro Mazda series presented by Cooper Tires and the Indy Lights Championship presented by Cooper Tires. I don't want to talk about the past so much. I want to talk about the future. You just started a new headquarters in Speedway, Indiana. What can you tell us about that?
We are building this new shop, new facility. We keep growing. I mean, I think this is the road to Indy for not just the drivers, as I said before, and it's for maybe mechanics and teams like us. So obviously the ultimate goal will be to be participating in IndyCar, but that's a big task. So we feel like it's a good opportunity now to expand with 6 cars running 2 teams, and it's very tight. A lot of the things that we could do outside, like carbon fiber reparation or machinery and simulator. So we're gonna put everything on house. That will allow us to be better. I mean, to control stuff that we can do, but we don't have the space at the moment.
You're clearly very passionate about the sport. Just tell us about the team spirit and the dynamic and the type of people you have here.
This is the only life we have, and we have to have passion for what you do, regardless if motor racing or anything you do in life. And that's my philosophy, and I have a lot of passion for this, nothing else. So we don't worry about nothing else, just motorsport itself. We try our best. The key is to find the people that have the same mentality, the same goal, and do things right, at least the best you can, right? You always can get better through the time, but you put everything you have, absolutely everything, each individual team member does that here, and when you put all that together, you can fly very high. So there is no limits, because we have no limits to work, we have no limits to think about it, we always find something to get better, and that's, I think, the key of the team, and in order to beat us, you gotta do that same or even more. But the day has 24 hours a day, so we work as much as we can.
Thank you so much for talking to us, Ricardo. Best of luck to you and the team.
Thank you very much. Thank you, guys.
Well, that concludes our coverage of all the action here at Barber Motorsports Park in Birmingham, Alabama. Next event, we're traveling 500 miles north to Indiana for the Grand Prix of Indianapolis. Tony Laporta will be resuming as your host, but keep your eyes peeled. You just might see me around the paddock. I'm Matt Maupin. Thanks so much for watching.